guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long, but I'm finally back doing my go-to clubbing look. If I'm out, this is the makeup I'm wearing. Sometimes it's a bit different depending on what I feel like, but majority of the time this is 100% the look. So in the video I'm going to show you kind of what I like to do to make everything stay and not budge throughout the night, because nothing is worse than coming home and then you look at your face and you're like, shit, have I looked like that all night? Not fun, not cute, not my favorite thing. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look and learned something from it, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get into the video. To start off today's video, I'm going to be starting off with some skin prep. So when I like to go out, I like to make sure that my pores are filled in, my skin is looking nice and smooth and hydrated and ready to go. Before you get into anything makeup related that goes onto your skin for a night out, you want to make sure your skin is fully prepped and ready to go. So the first thing you'd like to do, or you need to do really, is to exfoliate your face. Make sure all the dead skin is gone. That is super important. Got a nice clean surface to apply all your foundations and liquids and powders to. If not, it will cling to those dry places and it's just not pretty. Before, I cleansed my skin and scrubbed it and then put a moisturizer on. I didn't put a very heavy moisturizer on because the primer I'm going in with is kind of hydrating for my skin as well. So to start off with priming and everything, I'm going to go in with the NYX Angel Veil primer. This is a really nice primer. I like it so much. Even if I'm not wearing makeup at all, I will definitely go in with some of this over my skin, just because it smooths everything out. Depending on how my skin is looking, redness wise and all that, I will go in with a color correcting primer. But at the moment my skin isn't looking too red, so it's not really bothering me that much. Today I'm going to start on my eyes just in case there's any sort of fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera. So I'm going to go do them and I'll be back in a second. Alright, now that my eyebrows are on, I'm going to go into doing my eyes first. Every time I go out, I always seem to stick to the same sort of eyeshadow look, which is a brown smoky eye or a bronzy smoky eye with lashes. If I'm feeling it, I'll put a wing on. Most of the time I'm not. So I'm going to go starting with the eyes. Alright, so I'm just going to get that close. So the palette I'll be using today is my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I adore this palette so much. It is perfect. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the Benefit Bling Airbrush Concealer. I picked this up in Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. 100% sure how I feel about it yet. I've worn it out a couple times. So I'm going to keep giving it a go though. So I'm just going to pick some up. I'm going to take some of it off on my back of my hand because I did put a lot on. So this is what I'm going to use to prime my eyes. I got the, what color did I get? I got number 1 because I am pretty light. Then I'm just going to go in with my beauty blender and blend all that out. It does cover up a lot of the, because I have like kind of darkness bluish on my eyelids. It does cover that up very well. I will give it that. Alright, now that that's all blended out, I'm going to go in with Peaches and Cream to set the whole eye, because we definitely do not want any sort of creasing to happen. Alright, so the first color I'm going to go in with my lid is a transition color. Now if the palette that you have in front of you doesn't have a transition color, you can always go ahead and use the bronzer or the contouring you were going to use, but this palette does. So I'm going to go in with a Puree, so this color right here. It's a great warm tone to put all over the crease. I'm just going to go in with a big fluffy brush. This is from Colourpop. So I'm really just going to blow this out onto my lids. If you feel like you have too much color, just kind of wipe it off on the back of your hand and then go in. Now this is going to be the primary color I'm going to be using on my lid. I will just be deepening up as I go along. So to start off, really you can, obviously because you haven't got foundation on yet, you can blow that out to the side and then you just clean it up with your concealer or foundation later. Alright, so I'm going to bring that all kind of into the center of the eye so it kind of defines that crease we have. Alright, so now that is almost pretty much done for the crease, I'm going to go in with the color next to it, which is called Summer Yum, so this color right here. And I'm going to go in with a smaller brush using Summer Yum. I'm going to focus this directly in the crease. I don't really want to blow it out too much. If anything, I'm going to bring it further down. So place that right there. You don't want to bring this up too far because you kind of want that gradient effect. And you want to place the majority of this on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm also bringing this into the inner corner of my eye as well to help deepen up the crease there. So So the next color I'm going to go in with is Charmed, I'm Sure. It is one of the darkest matte browns in the palette. So this is such an easy look to do. Altogether, I'm probably going to be using 4 eyeshadows, and it's from the same palette, which is amazing. I love being able to use one palette for a complete look. I hate having to go through about 3 different palettes to get a look that I want. That's why this palette is absolutely perfect and worth, I think, like $70. It's worth it. So I'm going to go in with a different blending brush. This one is fluffier than the one we just used, but less fluffier than the first one we used. And I'm sorry if you can hear that car. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just dip my brush into it very lightly, because I don't want this to be too intense in the crease. I just want something to deepen it up a little bit more. So I'm going to diffuse this on the outer corner a little bit, just so it blends into those colors. Okay, you want to make sure it's obviously even on both sides. You don't want one eye to be darker than the other, because that's just annoying. So now the final color we're going to go in with is the shimmery all over the lid, and that is going to be Caramelized. I absolutely love this color for a perfect lid color. Alright, so we want to go in with a flat brush for this. I'm just going to go in with this flat brush here, and I am going to wet it with Fix Plus, because I want this to be intense. Now this is also really good not to do your base first, because I do believe this has a little bit of fallout. Oh, see how that is so pretty. So this is going to go all over the lid. Alright, so that's realistically, the lid is done. I'm not going to do my lower lash line or anything until I got the rest of my face on, because I don't like doing my lower lash line and then going in with concealer. It just irritates me. So that is it for the eyes. Basically mascara and everything I'll go in with after. So let's get into the face. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with some Fix Plus and spray my face. Okay, so the foundation I'm going to go in with is my Estee Lauder Double Wear in 1W1 Bone. Now I think this might be a bit too light for me, because I bought this when I was in Melbourne, like September. So let's hope it's not too bad. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stipple it all over my face with a brush first. It'll do. It smells like Max foundation. And then I'm just going to go in with my beauty blender and blend that all in. Alright, so now that is all done, I'm going to go in with my concealer. So I'm just going to take that first brush we used. And you can clean up the sides. Now obviously go in with absolutely any concealer you prefer. I just really wanted to keep trying this out. So I'm going to wet my face again, so it's easy to blend it out. I'm actually thinking I might go with some cream contouring because of how pale this is. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my Tarte's Pro Glow palette, and I'm going to go in with the colour Shade down here. I'm just going to go in with this little brush here. I'm not going to do a line because I don't want to move any of the stuff I've already put down. I'm just going to dab it. I'm just going to go in with a brush. That's actually so much easier to blend out. Okay, so now that that is basically done, the skin is warmed up that tiny bit, but I'm definitely not done with that. I'm going to bake under my eyes, so I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. This stuff is beautiful. I feel like because the concealer that I use is really thick, you're definitely going to need something to set it really well. The concealer actually dries pretty fast, which is good, so there won't be too much creasing. I'm going to bring it down the sides of my nose as well. Right, so for the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with the Australia's Fresh and Flawless in Deep Natural. Deep Natural. Alright, so now I'm definitely going to be going in with bronzing. Instead of using my Hoola, I'm going to go in with the colour Sculpt from this palette because I really like it. What I like to do when it comes to bronzing, I like to take a really big fluffy brush because I don't want it to be too specific because I've already done that cream contouring there. So I'm going to go in with Shade. Oh no, sorry, this is Sculpt, the other one, Shade. And then go ham. I'm kind of going to go all over the cheek as well. I am going to be applying blush, obviously to bring back some life into me. But I always like to go in with bronzer over it. So basically you're putting this everywhere you put the cream contour. already starting to look better. Bronzer is 100% one of the things I will not leave the house without if I'm like doing a full face. So I feel like if you go out without doing any of that, you just look really flat and it's not fun, it's not cute. It looks like you don't know what first of all, it doesn't look like you know what you're doing properly with your makeup, and you just look dead. It's not good. Alright, so now that I have some colour back into me, I'm going to go back in with the, where's the powder at? Going back in with the Too Faced. I'm going to carve out my cheekbones so I have, you know, something. I'm just going to go in with this. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit there for just a little bit, not too long. I just want to have a nice defined line there. So as that kind of sits, I'm going to go into doing the rest of my eyes. So basically what I'm going to do is, let me just get a brush. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use those 3 matte colours that we used and go in. At this point, I'm not 100% sure if I want to go fully in or just on the outers. But yes, I'm going to go with Puree, Summer Yum and Charmed, I'm sure, just on this fluffy brush. So I'm going to connect it to the outer part here and bring it in. Oh, that just looks so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a pencil brush. I'm going to go in with Charmed, I'm sure. I'm going to deepen up that outer corner. And what's left over on my brush, I'm going to go into the inner kind of sweep. So it has some sort of colour in there, but it's not really too dark and kind of closing in my eyes. So to highlight, I want to use a nice gold colour. So I'm going to go in with the Dose of Colours Desi Katie highlighter called Fuego. I'm just going to use this on the inner corner. And I'm going to use this on my brow bone. Alright, so now I'm going to go on with lashes. I am going to do this off camera because I have not done lashes in so super long, so it's going to take me a while to do. But before I do that, I'm just going to wipe off the bakage. So I'll be back in a second and I'm going to have the lashes. I'm so excited. Alright, so I've finally got the lashes on. The lashes I used were the Denny Beauty I Spy lashes in Wonder. These are really, really nice lashes. My eyes are just so weird and they never sit properly. Like, no lash is like the same on each eye. But shit happens and we move on. Just think about it. It's going to be down at a club. You're fine. You're fine. So next I'm going to go on to blush and highlight and then lips, and then basically I'm done. Blush I'm going to go in with is the Australis Show Me Some Cheek blush in Fame. I absolutely love these blushes. They're so nice but really, really pigmented. So don't want to make sure you don't have too much on your brush. So the way I like to do it, I like to start up on my cheekbone and kind of bring it down. I don't want to look too flushed. Just obviously want some colour. And I love to go over my nose with it. So that just gives you like some colour and oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so then for highlight, I'm gonna go in with Fuego again. And I've been doing the trick that Jaclyn Hill suggested, so using your beauty blender, and it, girl, it is so good. That glow. Okay, I'm going to use that highlight on my cheekbones. I'm going to go in with another one from the Tarte palette again. And I think I'm going to go with Lit. So this one here. I am going to use a brush for this one. I'm going to go with Lit. Just going to go over it to kind of not make it so bold. I'm also going to take this on my nose. I have a cute little nose. Chin. Forehead. I'm just going to get my finger and run down the bridge of my nose, just there. And then I'm going to get a little brush like this and I'm going to do my Cupid's bow. So what I like to do is do it here and then go down the little bridges, because it makes your Cupid's bow look really defined and so pretty. Okay, so the lip I'm going to take is going to be a matte lip. So first off, to line my lips, I'm going to take the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in Bound. So this is just the pinky colour. The lip colour I'm going to go in is lighter than the lip liner, so it's going to have that kind of nice ombre. And it is the Australis Matte Cream Lip in Patty. This is a pretty light lip, but it blends in with that lip liner so nice. Now 100% you can go over it with a gloss or whatever you want. I prefer it to be matte when I'm going out. If I really want a glossy lip, I'll obviously put one on. Not feeling it now. Alright, so I'm going to finish off the face a little bit. I want a bit bronzier because my neck's a little bit dark. So I'm going to go in with the BH Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale. and it is the color Illuminating Shimmer. It is gorgeous. I'm just going to go with that same brush we used, lightly, and then just go over. It's not going to bring too much more bronziness to the skin, just a little bit more. And take some down my neck. Alright, then you want one last spray so everything is staying in place. I'm going to take the Fix Plus, like I've been using this whole time. Let that all dry. So this is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. Going out with your friends is such an amazing feeling. It's so fun. And looking good and feeling good is also one of the biggest parts for me. If I'm going out and I don't feel well, or I don't feel like I'm looking at my best, I don't really have a good night. So doing all these steps for me definitely helps make me feel better and look better. And I can say 100% none of this is really going to budge at the end of the night. The only thing that might is my eyelashes, not gonna lie. But other than that, I'm confident that everything is gonna stay. If you guys enjoyed this makeup look, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.